This is the Play No Games podcast. We're the hardest working podcast in Portland, Oregon, man.
Play no
Game. Play
no
games. Podcast
slash
show.
Oh, he didn't actually do it this
Oh,
time.
I got chastised the last time I did it, so I was like, I'm not gonna do it. But welcome to the Play No Games podcast slash show. I'm your host, Rob.
I'm Cos.
I'm Arthur.
And we have
A very special guest here, the world's strongest woman.
One of the world's strongest women.
The-
Not the strongest
the-
yet.
I'm
working on it.
We just gonna put the emphasis on the.
All right, cool.
the
No pressure, no pressure.
Gabi Dixson herself. Yay. Hey, welcome to the Play No Games podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I made it.
You made
Alive. It's hot outside.
Absolutely.
Been sweating all day, but I'm here.
There it is.
Yep.
So your career is strong women. What is like the strong? What would you call that kind of sport?
Like a strength sport?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a strength sport.
Strength sport.
So like, because I know
What's
you
the
did
question?
powerlifting, so like, there's a difference. Like, there's powerlifting,
Mhm.
there's like
Strong woman.
strong woman,
Strong woman.
and then there's anything
There's
else?
like CrossFit. There's grip strength
Bodybuilding.
competitions. What was
Yeah.
that one?
Bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding.
Does that count?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are all underneath the same
Mhm.
category?
Olympic lifting.
Olympic lifting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you go down that career path?
Well, do you want like the short story or the long story?
Whatever you want to share.
yeah.
Whatever you're comfortable.
Okay. So when I was 2, I'm just kidding.
Damn.
No,
I lifted the milk jugs that
Yeah.
my mom brought in.
but that's real though. I 2 tripses. Can we cuss on this show?
Huh? Of course.
2 tripses for bitches. So that was like the OG start. Like if
I
you're
love
gonna
this.
carry groceries in, 2 tripses for bitches. That's what I always used to say. No, I did lifting. I did track and field, volleyball, basketball, track, all in high school. Loved it. Didn't compete in lifting. Did it for track and field and other sports.
Okay.
Had a scholarship for track and field in college, went to Concordia University just up the street.
Yeah.
Rip.
Did really good in that. Competed post-collegiately for about a year and a half, 2 years, but got really bored when I didn't have a team. So I became a normal person for about 2 years. I didn't do any sports. I actually became a professional singer. I was a social worker full time. I had all this
Whoa.
like real regular life business stuff that I did.
What?
And then I just felt like something was telling me I needed to get ready. And I was like, for what? What do I need to get ready for? But the only thing I knew how to do was train. So I just started training again. I joined a local gym, lost a little bit of weight. Then I got an email from 24 Hour Fitness to do this reality fitness TV show thing.
Whoa.
I know. Save the questions for the end.
Oh.
So it was a show called Next Olympic Hopeful. They're trying to find crossover athletes who were, high school athletes or college athletes to go and feed them into lesser known Olympic sports. Those sports that they were feeding them into were bobsled, skeleton, track cycling, and rugby. So
Very cool.
I got pinned for the bobsled skeleton team. I did not win, but my scores were so good still. I was very fast for my size that rugby recruited me. They're like, hey, USA Rugby would like you to come to a camp. And I was like, I bet.
Whoa.
So-
Okay.
Okay.
So I came back home because they flew us all out to Colorado Springs at the Olympic Center over there. Came home, joined up the local team. Shout out Orsu. And later went to a camp for Team USA, fell in love with the game. Did about a season at Orsu. Did a D2 season, then did a WPL, which is our Women's Premier League season there too. And then I decided to travel abroad and play rugby in New Zealand.
Whoa.
So I then played rugby in New Zealand for a club team and then a select team, which was amazing. One of my club teammates was going to go do some training. And she's like, oh, yeah, I have a guy who does strongman. And I was like, oh, can I come? And she's like, sure. So I went. This was within the first 3 or 4 months of me getting to New Zealand. Fell in love with it. Continued my rugby career, but did a couple of meets here and there. Got myself invited to New Zealand's Strongest Woman. finished my rugby season, trained for 6 weeks, won New Zealand's Strongest Woman.
Oh,
Whoa.
damn. So you could take it over countries now.
Yeah. So then
Absolutely.
there was Big Mad, but that's a whole nother story. But, then, but it was awesome. I loved it. Everybody there was awesome. The competitors were dope. I love them all. We still all talk. Then I came home, had an invite to World's Strongest Woman. Got canceled because of COVID in 2020. But then 2021 came around and I got 5th place. So
Wow.
since then I've gotten my pro card and 2 second place finishes at pro am meets. And I'm just, all steams are, what is it? All signs are go, whatever the saying is. So just pushing on forward.
Yeah.
Damn. They say bad bitch. This is what I'm needing. This is what I'm talking about. This is a bad bitch. This is a resume I need. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Damn.
Yeah. And I only knew like a quarter of that.
Shit.
Only knew like a quarter of that. I better like halfway through that portion. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm not
Which
going to
is
lie. I'm a
crazy.
bit speechless.
Oh,
How often do you train?
I train 5 days a week, and this next block I'm going to be doing 2 a days for one or two of those. So,
Okay. And then normally do you ramp it up for competition?
So right now we are, I think, 10 weeks out ish because it's November. Worlds is November 12th and 13th and 14th, I think, somewhere in that weekend.
Oh, keep going.
That's super dope.
You're not in the shot.
Where's Worlds at this year?
Worlds is at Daytona Beach, Florida.
Okay.
Mhm.
You ready for the sunshine?
It wasn't sunny last year, so I don't have my hopes up. It was only sunny for the last day we were there, but it was nice.
That's super dope. That's super dope. What's one of your fitness goals right now?
Oh, well, there's a couple things. So the events, that's a whole nother thing. But right now, my coach has decided, and I somewhat agree. I was like, man, I just want to get like my fitness levels up. He's like, you probably should take more steps in a day. I said, sir, do you not see how hard I work in the gym every day? Like I am there for 2-3 hours, just blood, sweat, and tears. Like, yeah, but you also need to step. And I was like, but I like to be horizontal after all that work. I like to just lay it down, rest it up. No, but you need steps, at least 8,000. So my, goal right now is to get 10,000 steps a day, which is going to be so fun.
How many steps have you gotten so far?
I'm starting tomorrow. September 1st or September 1st.
Oh, that is so effortless.
Oh, thank you.
Step in the name of love, dude. Okay.
I wanted to join into the fun.
That's good. That's good. It's time to step it up.
Wait,
That was
step it
funny.
up too?
Yes.
How's
Not
that?
two.
Oh man.
I do have a question too as well. Actually, just piggybacking off what Koss was saying about like working out. Let's just say, I know for me, working out, it means a whole lot because I had a big fitness transformation. But one of the things, and busting down like a myth that we love to do here is like women in weights. Like you're like one of the. I know I want to be respectful. You said
Go ahead.
top 5, and you want the crown before you say it.
Yeah.
But like you're one of the strongest women in the world. But what I hear a lot in was just like women in lifting that women shouldn't lift. Like, how would you like talk to other women or other people who want to get into weightlifting and the importance of weightlifting?
It's so important. There's so many benefits to weightlifting. So many people are afraid of how it's going to make them look, if it's going to be manly or bulky or all these things. But like, lifting just makes you strong, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, let's go. It helps with bone density. It helps with losing weight if you want to do that. It helps with there's so many things I can't even think of them all. But like, just do it. I promise you'll not regret it.
Do you ever feel like when you first started getting into the gym, like hardcore, did you ever feel like you had to like do more because there's other people watching, or like you just wanted to?
Say the first part of the question again.
You feel like you had to do more because like people were watching you being a woman in the gym, or like did you?
I love an audience.
You got that shit. I like this shit.
I love hype. I love, I'm not somebody who, this is going to sound really bad. I'm not someone who particularly enjoys going to the gym day in and day out. Like, it's a lot of time and effort, and I cry a lot. Like, it's when I say blood, sweat, and tears, it's all of those for me. Like, actual blood and sweat and actual tears. But I live for competitions. So like I love that. That is so much fun because usually you get a week of rest right before, which is amazing. When I was first training though, like it was, I always wanted to be, one of the strongest people in the room. And I remember like even in high school that like I challenged and inspired a lot of the guys on the football team to like actually get their shit together and squat more. Like, and they've told me this. They're like, oh yeah, you're the only reason I squatted 500 pounds. Like, cause I saw you with 3 plates on each side and I was like, damn, I need to get it together. So, I didn't have that same experience that a lot of other folks did. Being shy or scared in the gym.
Love it.
That's good.
Love it.
I'm curious, what is your goal for the next competition in Daytona? Like weight wise, like bench, deadlift, squat.
So the events are, those are good events. Those are powerlifting events. So squat, bench, press, and deadlift are powerlifting events. And those are not events that we're going to be doing specifically at this meet. However, there will be a axle bar deadlift for reps at 480 pounds. So we'll have a minute to do as many as we can on that. So that's one of my favorite / probably maybe going to be top events for me. So that'll be good. There's also a farmer's carry, which I'm excited to
Do they still do like the boulder ball, the balls?
The Atlas stones, yep. There'll be Atlas stones. That'll be like probably, that's usually the finisher.
Do they still like tug the airplane? I remember watching these as a kid growing up.
Sometimes they do the air, but they haven't done that. They're not doing that for this one. They're doing a circus dumbbell, which I'm gonna basically just try not to die because my overhead is poverty overhead. Poverty press is what I call it. I'm working on my overhead pressing because I got really long arms, so they're great for deadlifting and like grip events. But like overhead, it's like I just have so much more like distance to go to get lockout. But yeah, I'm trying not to die with that one and trying not to die with the Viking press because that's another one that's like awkward. I've never really done before. Don't know what the rig is gonna look like. And there will be like a sandbag to shoulder event, which will be zesty. But I'm going to try my best to do really good at the events I'm good at and like be somewhere in the middle and not die on the ones that I'm not good at. That's how you play the game.
So what would it mean for you to hold this title as like #1?
Oh, it'd be dope. It'd be super cool. My whole platform is like to inspire myself, my younger self. Like I always think that if I had somebody like me to look up to, like it would have changed so much. It would have been so beneficial because there was very few people that were in my lens, in my worldview growing up who looked like me, who acted like me, and who participated in strength sports. Like I didn't know any other shot putters. I didn't know any other people who could squat as much as I could squat growing up, who were in the mainstream. So my goal is to increase my platform so I could show these little chubby brown girls that they can do this stuff and like be happy and soft, but also intense and amazing and strong at the same time. You can have all of it.
So there's one comment I want to make. So there's a video on your Instagram of you picking up a car.
Yes.
And running with it.
Yes.
How heavy was this car?
That car was 700 pounds.
And how fast did you carry this car, and how far was it?
I think we carried it 50 feet, and I think I did it in just under 12 seconds. And that's going to be an event at this Worlds again.
So you basically took off running with 700 pounds.
Yeah, like Fred Flintstone.
On. Which is crazy because like when you do these things, you see these things, and actually like watching this person do it live, like it's like phenomenal watching you work. So like keep grinding, keep working. I know you got it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that thing. Thank you.
No, I just that video is like it's always like it's crazy because like watching you just take off running. Like it wasn't like you walked into it. It was like you picked it up and took off running. And I was like, she really like running with this car. Like it's super dope. Yeah,
I had to. They was gonna get me.
Wait, what did you mean?
Oh no, you gotta run like you stole something. That's what Dad always used to say. Run like you stole something.
With your 5-finger discount?
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Exactly. I didn't really steal, but
one of the things I really appreciate that you said is like the representation of like in this like day and age of like body positivity and like your younger self. Because I know for me, like when I was chubby and things like that, like I know that there was like reinforcement of like you have to be and look a certain way, you have to be this and that, and my only example of like what I should be was like from the chastising that I received and things like that. And I guess in this day and age of you're supposed to have the 6-packs and abs and things like that, what kind of message do you want to say to people who believe you just have to be this certain build? Like how do you want to add?
Lately, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but lately my motto has been like, imagine a world where nobody made comments about anybody else's body. Like, imagine what that would have been like growing up. Anybody could say that would have made your childhood just that much easier and that much better. So if we can get to a place where we are, I mean, body positivity is fantastic, like, but nobody can really be positive about their body all the time. Nobody. Like, you can't name a single person in the world who's positive about their body all the freaking time. I'm more for body neutrality. Our body, it's a meat suit. It's literally a vessel to carry our spirits so we can get from point A to point B, whatever that may be. So I'm all about neutrality. I'm all about just like confidence and staying the course and making sure that you're not giving up part of yourself to fit somebody else's mold.
Respect that.
Yeah, I like that. Something I was curious about is kind of when you find yourself in like a difficult situation, you're on the last set or you're finding a hard will. Where does your mind go to push you to that extra edge when you need to, carry that car farther or you need to lift even more?
It's when you train as much as I do, you will have gone through the same or similar, either in competitions prior or in your training. And that kind of gives you this like deep well of what do I want to say? Just the knowledge that you can, just the knowledge that you've done harder before, and that you can get through whatever it is. A phrase that I hear a lot, that I tell myself a lot, that came from one of my prior coaches, was just to chip away at the mountain. Like, it's going to go down eventually. Just keep chipping away, like piece by piece. That might be one step, that might be 5. Just take what you can and keep pushing forward. Yeah, it's just a kind of a mind over matter thing at that point. Because when you're in the moment, you just got to go. Like, there's no other question. And when it comes to injuries and hiccups and things like that, my constant, the body is amazing, the body will recover. The body is amazing, the body will recover. And those are also some things that I have in the back of my mind, like when I, drop a 300-pound rock on my foot, which I did at my second to last competition. Yeah.
Okay, you got that vibranium in your foot. Why are you recovering so fast?
I don't know. I'm just real dense. Just real compact.
I just love how you are, just how like your view on just like everything when it comes to just working out, body image, all the different things. Because one of the things that we talk about here a lot is like everyone's this or everyone's that. Like, how do you move forward and be comfortable with you? Mm-hmm. And I guess I want to kind of like ask you, at least when it comes to like those dog days of like when you aren't feeling your best, you're most confident, like how do you soldier through those moments and days?
Well, let's see. The last one was it wasn't yesterday. No, it's something you really have to sit with sometimes. And sometimes you'll sit there and sit there and sit there and procrastinate, which I am super guilty of. And then you finally get to the gym and you're like, dang, I'm at the gym really late because I procrastinated all day. Now I remember why I shouldn't do that anymore and just get there. Because every time, I would say 90% of the time, because 10% of the time I am genuinely tired and I'm genuinely should not be doing the workout that I've set up to do that day. But 90 to 95% of the time, when I leave the gym, I feel better. When I leave the gym, I know I did what I needed to do for the day, and that no matter how I was feeling, I did what needed to be done, and I get to move on to the next workout.
What has been your proudest moment so far?
My proudest moment so far? like accomplishment wise, it was really cool to come in and win New Zealand's Strongest Woman.
Oh,
That was dope. That was really dope. It was also really cool to come into my first world stage competition and win 2 events. My first time. I won the deadlift ladder and I won that car walk that you were talking about last year. What else? Yeah, I would say those are my top 2. My top.
I'm curious. Do you keep up with the male side of the competition, and are you Eddie Hall or Thor?
Oh, I'm definitely not anti. I'm just like, I already have a hard enough time focusing on like my own side of things.
Yeah.
But like, they're both amazing. Like, and I get to compete against Eddie Hall in November. Like, he is literally coming out of retirement for a meet that we're doing in Liverpool. Yeah. They're doing World's Strongest Nation, and I'm one of the 3 women selected for the Team USA. And there's like 4 or 5 guys as well. And we get to go and compete against a bunch of UK people. Eddie Hall is one of them. Who's like, yeah, sure. I'll do that meet. So I get to probably meet him, which is going to be dope.
That's really dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm stoked.
Wow. So where else? So
no fear.
where else have you traveled to with strong woman stuff? So New Zealand.
So far it's been New Zealand was where I started. I came home, I go up north of Seattle to do the Rainier Classic every year. And then I went to Daytona Beach last year, and then I went to Mission, Texas, which is super, super southern Texas, earlier this year in March. And then, my on the docket is again Daytona Beach, Liverpool, and I think I get to go to Vegas in December for America's Strongest Woman.
There it is.
So it's getting up there. I just got my pro cards. I'm just starting to get like a taste of like getting to be able to travel, and sometimes they'll pay for your hotel or give you a little sprinkling of some snacks or something. So let's go, women strongman. Like we're moving up. We're doing it.
Collecting these badges.
We're just trying to get to the point where we can be equal to the guys. Like, the guys have been doing it for a long time, and women have been at it for a long time too. It's just a matter of like, okay, we got to get the shows out. We got to get people involved and invested in the women's side, because it's pretty exciting, honestly. I think we're dope.
Oh no, 1,010%. And one of the things we kind of talk about on this show is as AJ is also wearing a women ball 2 shirt, where we kind of talk about why people aren't watching the WNBA and like what things they can do to get more excitement to it, things like that. When it comes to your sport, how do you think it would help, as you were just saying, to get more people more invested and just tapped in? Because if you're lifting the car, I'm gonna pay $20 to see that.
Yeah, I'm in.
I can't do that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, one of the trends lately that I really like seeing, that I started when I first came to the U.S., back to the U.S., was the Rainier Classic. They had equal prize for the men and the women pros. So that was like, okay, that's a really good start. And they did the same thing this year. And I believe I believe America's Strongest Woman is doing the same thing this year. So with big meets like that, having equal purses, equal prize pools, that's going to be a really big deal. And if that's where we should start, because that's going to grow the sport. It's going to encourage more women to be involved, which is going to encourage, more people around them to be involved and more people to get into it, because it makes it more sustainable for us. Because the bottom line is, like, we can't do it if we can't get paid for it. Like, we can't, it's an expensive sport. We have a lot of travel fees. We have a lot of accommodation fees. Like, we have to pay our own entry fees most of the time. So when you make it to where it's tasty, it's something that we can go for, like, not just a couple $1,000 here and there, but like, the last 2 competitions I was at, the second place prize was $4,000. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, that's doable. That at least pays for my travel and my accommodations and gives me a little chunk of change to throw at my coach. Like, it gives me a little bit more to work with, and like allows me to, think about a lifestyle that incorporates more of that, so I can put more time and effort into the sport myself.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just agreeing.
Oh no, Sorry, no, I'll probably get that. So, with the minute that we have left, I'm definitely probably going to cut that. Anywho, because we do have to get you out here, because you're going to go see another living legend as you are becoming.
Alicia.
Yeah,
Those keys.
yeah.
I'm super excited.
Oh, I know she's gonna put on a show.
She better. I paid $54.
I guess
That's
one of the
hilarious.
things we do here too as well, and we kind of talk about the current state of like dating culture and things like that. And one of the like hot button topics that people are always talking about from Monday to Friday is a strong woman. And I want to ask for you, like, why do you think most, let's just say most people may be intimidated by a physically strong woman or a mentally strong woman? Why do you think people have a difficult time taking that in?
Why? That's always the question, isn't it? That's always, what's the story behind that? I just think that people feel inferior. I feel like people don't feel like they can step up to the plate. And the alternative is people with inflated egos who then think they can do it, but then they're also like narcissists. So it's like kind of like this, like you have to strike this balance of like finding someone in between who has, just enough of like strong sense of self, but also, not a jackass at the same time, because it really is. It's confidence. It's like, it's a lack of self-confidence, a lack of knowing yourself and feeling worthy, to be in the company of somebody strong and powerful, to be in the company of somebody who is possibly smarter than you or possibly going to lift more than you, and I'm and I say possibly to be nice because I can lift more than most of the people that I've dated.
You can air them out. You can air them out.
But it's okay. That's not something I necessarily look for anymore because I realized it was kind of impossible. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Oh my
But
goodness.
no, I think that it is genuinely like a confidence thing. I think that it's just a reflection of themselves and they can't get out of it. And I don't want that anyway. Like, yeah, they say the dating pool has pee in it, and I don't want to get in that. That's gross. I don't want that.
I've never heard it like that, but it's so real. That is like the realest thing I think I've heard. It's like dating pool has pee in it. Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, I thought you were being like ego. I think ego on both sides. Like we
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
ego's killing us.
Yeah. Well, too much confidence can be a turnoff for a lot of people. Like it's been a turnoff for me before. I'm like, okay, chill out, but
He's not like, look at me rack this, that doesn't grind your gears.
it's just funny to me because then if I do it and then they're just going to be sad or like have an attitude. And it's like, what are you going to do about that? Nothing. It's just silly. I think a lot of things are funny.
I love your sense. We have to do this more often. You're funny. You were giving me some good. Downstairs was not fair. You were not being fair to me. I'll say that. AJ, I'll let you take this away because we gotta get the wonderful Gabi out of here. Hit her with a so long farewell. My friend.
Oh, we shaking already like that. So I wanna say thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure. You're such a dope individual, a great personality, and I think a individual that many people, especially our listeners, should really tap into because of not only who you are, but just of like what you've accomplished. I think you have enough to really write a book and give somebody real keys and lessons to life. So I know Klaus has something to say before I wrap it up.
Thanks for coming. Love
Yeah.
the stories. Good luck in
Yeah.
November.
Thank you.
And please have fun at Alicia Keys.
I will.
So let the people know how they can follow you. Shout out who you want to shout out, and let them know.
All right, cool. Well, shout out to my fam, my mom and dad, my siblings. Love you guys. And my partner. Love you too. And who else? Follow me on Instagram, GABIGRL_pro strong woman. That's me.
Yay.
Oh.
Also, she trying to, all the little sponsors out there. We need to be sponsored, but
Yeah.
she need to be sponsored too.
Oh,
So
Yeah. I like free
we
stuff,
tryna-
but I like money too.
Yeah.
Hey,
We'll hop
hey.
on your bandwagon. Time of the
I
week.
like checks.
we both trying to get sponsored out here.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm good at
Absolutely. Thank
commercials.
you. This has been the Play No Games podcast. I'm Arthur Dixon,
I'm Rob.
I'm Koss.
and we out.
Yeah.
Peace.
probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.